So how good is the new reworked Carrier Flagship Tier 5 Buccaneer, and are these new buffs slash changes good enough for this tower to actually kind of make it back into the mainstream, I guess? So a lot of changes actually these recent updates, and just I guess what we're doing, we're gonna try to do Mega Pops thingy, but we are going to be going some, I would say, kind of unorthodox cross paths because of all the changes that are happening with this tower. So let me just get started. I'm gonna buy the Grape Shot actually onto this thing, and I brought Emerald Brickle as the hero, which you don't usually see on this channel, but yeah, we're gonna try Brickle today. Okay, so let me buy the top at the 110, and let's talk about these changes. So first off, the changes that happen with the 4th tier, the aircraft carrier, is that the mini plane grapes can now set balloons on fire, but in order for them to do that, you need to have the hot shot upgrade, which is a very interesting change. But I don't know how to feel about these other changes that happen, because I'm not sure if this is a buff or a nerf, so I'm just calling it a rework because I don't know what's happening. So one of the things is that the aircraft carrier's mini plane's frontal darts gain a very powerful homing effect. Now that's obviously a buff to this thing, but take a look at what's happening next. The mini plane frontal darts have their damage increased from 1 to 2, but their pierce is getting reduced from 9 to 4. So even though these attacks are a lot stronger, they can barely go through any balloons. Also, we have the radial darts damage, which is, it works kind of like the top at ace, which has a small amount of darts attacking around it. So these guys' damage got increased from 2 to 4. And then a little bit of attack range reduction and increase, which shouldn't be too significant. Now, talking about the tier 5 Carrier Flagship, the main darts' projectile got increased from 1 to 2. So we got an extra damage from the tier 4, and now we got extra projectiles, which is really nice. But again, the pierce got reduced from 14 to 7. That's half the pierce that this thing used to have. And hold on, are we fine? Oh my god, we're barely holding on thanks to Brickle. So here's what I'm going to do. I think we're going to get the double shot, honestly. As long as we survive up until the 320 destroyer, we're going to be completely fine after that. Now, going back to the changes, we have 2 changes left, which is the first one is the Carrier Flagship's mini plane damage got changed from normal to sharp, which is a very interesting thing because previously they were able to pop DDTs and lead balloons on their own, and now we're going to have to get an MIB village, it seems like. And then the other one is that the damage type for the graves gets changed to fire now when you have the 520 crosspath, and we're almost there with the destroyer. These guys are barely holding on, so I think that we are getting this right on time. I mean, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to survive these purple balloons, so yeah, there we go. Look at this thing, look at the price of the aircraft carrier. So this is 7.4k, and I think that the price reduction that they got recently it wasn't that huge, honestly. I mean, it might have been a couple $100 if I remember correctly. This was a long time ago, but it's nice. I mean, it makes the tower all that more viable, right? And the Carrier Flagship also got its price reduced by about $500. So overall, it's not a lot, but you know what? We'll take it. So the most interesting aspect for me is probably this new change where the aircraft carrier, the 4th tier, has the small planes get this homing effect. Now, this homing effect is probably not going to be really strong. Like, it's not going to be like the 5th tier, right? They're not going to seek the balloon salt automatically. But if they are close to a balloon, then I feel like they're gonna kind of nudge towards it. That's at least my opinion. But I'm really excited for this thing, for the 4th tier, and then eventually we're gonna upgrade to the 5th tier when we get the money. But this is the most important round. I've been kind of thinking whether or not I should buy an Alchemist, but because the Alchemist doesn't buff the small planes, I don't think I will. I think that we're gonna get the money right now on this round, and I think this is courtesy of the change of the price reduction. So we're gonna get it now. This is before round 40. I mean, this is insane, guys. And let's see these small planes. So look at them go. Look at this thing. So now these guys, I think that they already used to attack with these grapes, but now the grapes set balloons on fire, which is just a little bit of extra DPS. But the grape attacks are not consistent. They happen every second or something like that. So I feel like this tower is gonna get properly tested on rounds like 46, 47, and 49. So 46 has a bunch of fortified ceramics, and I do want to see how these guys perform because they did get extra damage, but at the same time their pierce got reduced. So I feel like when it's only a handful of ceramic balloons, they are gonna destroy them. And now look at this. This is a capability that these guys, the small planes, didn't used to have, which is popping lead balloons. So let's see how we do. Okay, so that's very interesting. So if whatever balloon is, if it gets hit by this grape attack, it just evaporates. But the problem is that you guys see that until they make the turn. So yeah, there's a little bit of a downtime happening, I guess. Until they make the turn, there's a lot of damage being lost. But let's help these guys out a little bit. So first off, something that works is it's Jungle Jump's village, and I should probably just give these guys camo because yeah, let's just not rely on this sub at the top. Okay, so 49, a really important round, and we also got level 8 on Brickle, which gives this thing +1 pierce, and I think the pierce works on the small planes as well. Now this plus one pierce is actually really important. So let's just watch the ceramics and how fast they evaporate. And oh my god, they evaporate. So this extra damage is actually really nice, it seems like, but the lack of pierce is probably going to be where they think they would balance things out. Okay, so I want to watch 54 and 55. 54 is just a bunch of ceramics plus a few Moabs. So we're going to see how this thing performs, but I feel like it's decent, right? It's still a little bit better than it used to be, because now it seems to be because it has a lot of damage sources and can deal with everything. I feel like it's a little bit more consistent, but then the consistency is still limited as to, you know, what's the angle that they're gonna take, where they're gonna attack the balloons from. So there's a little bit of RNG aspect for sure on this tower, but when we get to a Carrier Flagship, that thing should be gone. Okay, so now we are on round 59. We're gonna have some lead balloons. So even if I upgrade this thing, we're not gonna be able to pop them, but thanks to the grape attack, which now, this is by the way the new buff, and the grapes now set balloons on fire, and they get the I think that they get like a fiery attack, or was that a thing before? I'm not sure, but let's watch how they do versus 45 Moab. So we kind of dealt with this round. To be fair, we're playing on a super long map, but it's only a single tower dealing with these guys. So we have the money for the Carrier Flagship, but I'm still not gonna buy it. I just want to see how we do versus 63. So as long as these grapes, yeah, it's always gonna wipe them. Actually, that's very interesting. So as long as these balloons get hit by the grapes seem to do a decent amount of damage. They actually seem to do a lot of damage, and they set balloons on fire. I'm not sure what the DPS is. If I had to assume, the DPS is probably the same as the main attack DPS, but this seems to be a lot of damage, and only the 4th tier seems to be dealing with everything, which I'm super surprised. I don't know, guys. These planes, they seem to be doing a really good job by themselves, and I say that, and I know that it's round 74. I mean, come on, this is a 420 tower, which is only getting buffed by a 220 village. I mean, this is barely getting anything, and these guys are doing really well. I'm really surprised about the performance of this tower, but if a round takes it down, it's probably going to be this one or 76 for sure. So let's see how we perform on this one. We have the rockets are dealing with everything, and now when these grapes, when these planes are kind of zooming into the balloons, that's where the majority of the damage is happening, while the grapes are hitting the balloons, because these grapes, they seem to be doing a lot more damage than I was giving them credit for. So I feel like that's where the majority of the damage happens, and then they need to kind of take a turn, and until they make the turn, obviously there's a lot of damage being lost, which is going to get fixed by the Carrier Flagship. But these guys are no joke, it seems like. Are they going to beat 75 by themselves? I don't think so, actually. And if anything happens, a lot of this damage is going to get absorbed by, it's going to get absorbed by Brickle. So, I mean, we're still on for the 2 mega pops thingy. Brickle only has 2,000 pops, so we can afford to do this, because I really want to see how these guys perform in 76. And look at this time they didn't actually lose. So it's about, you know, it has a little bit of RNG, let's just call it like that. If you get some good, you know, sorties, then, oh my god, that 76 getting defeated by these guys. Is it? No, those balloons regrow way too much. But they got it. Okay, they got it. Okay, thankfully they got it. But yeah, again, this is the problem. It's if you get some good plain RNG and they kind of come back faster to attack the balloons with the grapes, then you're gonna be fine. But we can fix all of that with the Carrier Flagship. I mean, come on, guys. This has to be its last round, right? This thing is a 420 Buccaneer that just saved us $70,000. This is ridiculous. I haven't even used Brickle's level 3 ability, which I think I should probably use it now, right? Let's just use it. Let's just see how these guys do the small planes, because they do get the extra attacks, but you guys see how the grapes, how fast they're coming out. Clean out around 79, which is very surprising, and at the same time I'm very impressed with this tower. So you know, my thoughts on the 4th tier have definitely changed, but how is it gonna look like with the 5th tier? So let's buy it now around 80 and let's see what happens. Okay, so 86, a bunch of 45 BFBs, and we're getting closer to a very important level for Brickle, which is level 14, in which the duration of the naval tactic gets increased by a very small amount. Like, they don't want to buff it too much, so the duration goes from 9 to 12 seconds. So that's not a long duration. They really don't want to buff this spell too much, but when you use this ability, it gives a lot of stuff. So these planes are going to become super strong, and they can actually pop all types of balloons now. And take a look at what's happening on screen, guys. 75,000, we have nothing to help these guys. Should I use the naval tactics? I think I won't. I feel like this tower is a little bit better than it used to be, and especially the focus was on the 4th tier, because the 4th tier now has those homing projectiles, which don't work like this. but they're a little bit more accurate than they used to be, and the grapes that they get seems to be where the majority of the new damage is coming from. I mean, it's too easy. Okay, let me not say that. Let's just not say it's too easy, but let's just actually get serious about what's happening, because these next few rounds are going to be quite challenging. So first off, I want to get the Relentless Glue. Let's get this thing. This is like one of these towers that we usually buy on our 2 tower chimps runs. And I'm also probably going to get something like a Sabo Ninja, just so we have it for rounds like 95, but we're not going to use it unless we have to. And just to kind of do a quick checkup on the pop, so Admiral Bilka has the most one out of all the other towers, which is at 4.3k, and then everything else is like, I mean, the stuff is like 1.2, but that's the early game ones, and then the Ninja, obviously. It might get the few, but nothing too spectacular, honestly. So 94 is one of those rounds, and then we're going to have 95 after that. I'm ready for 95 with the Sabo. But the first time that we play 95, I'm not even gonna touch the Sabo. I'm just gonna let it attack like that, and maybe we should get something like, should we get this? I think we should. I think we should go all out on the damage. Let's get the Homeland, and let's, I think we're gonna have enough money to buy whatever we want. I actually have a feeling that it's not even gonna be close, because we have the Relentless Glue, but hold on. How are we doing? So there's a little bit of a stunning effect going thanks to the Relentless Glue, but I might have been wrong on the not even gonna be close. Okay, so let me use, I'm only gonna use the level 3 Brickle ability, and I can't see what's happening. I think I can, I love it. These grapes are, oh my god, these grapes are attacking way too fast. Okay, so they just clean up right while the ability is getting active. Yep. Yeah, we need to be really careful with the ability, but at the same time, maybe we can buy something. Oh, you know what we could buy? Actually, because this is, Brickle is a water-based tower, right? So if we buy this, the reactor, then she's gonna get a little bit of extra cooldown reduction. So that's kind of a nice thing to have for the level 3 ability. And now let's watch 96. So now we're into more serious rounds territory. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the Sabo for this round just to kind of slow these guys down. And I want to use the level 3 ability so that we can wipe all of these BFBs, and then maybe we're gonna get it back for the ZOMG. So let's see how this thing do. Yeah, oh my god, when you use this ability, I mean, the graves just go ham, right? And that's where a lot of the damage is happening as well. So yeah, I'm just super, I'm in awe with this tower. I mean, I didn't think that it was this strong before. I don't think it was, right? I mean, it used to be kind of nice, I guess, but this tower now makes Flooded Valley chimps a lot easier than it used to be, right? You know, I didn't know how to comment to this video, whether or not the things that happened to this tower was a buff or a nerf, like in general. But I feel like this tower is a lot better than it used to be, right? And let's see how we're going to do on 98. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the Homeland, and I'm going to use the level 3 Prickle ability, and oh my god, these guys are doing a lot of damage. This is just attacking super fast. Look at those grapes go. Okay, I'm going to use the Sabo as well, and hopefully we get it back for 9. I think we will, because even though they have a lot of damage, it's not like super damage, so I feel like they're still going to take a while to pop this round, so we're going to get all cooldowns back. And we might even get away with the second level 3 ability. You know what? I'm actually going to do it. Let's use the level 3 ability again, the Brickle level 3, which is just going to make these guys attack super fast. We do have the Homeland, but I'm not going to make the Homeland mistake, because recently I was playing I actually have this on video. You guys can watch this as a mortar video, but I actually threw a game so hard because I used all my abilities in round 98, and that was absolutely not necessary, so I don't want to do that again. So let's just have at least some abilities ready before we go into 99. So I think that now we can afford to use the Homeland because we have the Sabo going, and this should be about, that was round 98, guys. I mean, come on, let me just check the pops and all the other towers. So Brickle is at 8. Oh my god, that's a lot of... Okay, she got a lot of pops at the end thanks to these mines, but we're still fine. So 1.9, so we are going to get this thing. So I'm going to use the Sabo now, and I think... Do we use the level 3? Let's just try and see if we can do it without the level 3. I think we can. Yeah, this is not even close. Okay. Yeah, this is not even close. Okay. And as this round is ending, the battle around 100. So let's use all abilities. Let's use the Homeland and the level 3 ability. And that's a lot of damage. Can we just... If I click this, the menu is going to appear on the left side. So we're not going to be able to see the bat by itself. But this is a lot of damage. I mean, look at this thing. A lot of rockets, a lot of graves going out. And I feel like whenever these planes are kind of going into the bat, that's where the majority of the damage is happening. So let me just check the pops now. So we're almost there. And we're going to have one more round of the abilities. And we also can use the Sabo when this thing pops. So let's just get ready for it. Let me use the level 3. Let's use the Homeland ability. This thing is going to pop any second now, I feel like. It's on the last leg, right? So let's use the Sabo now. And there I was actually kind of being ready with the Brickle level 10 ability, the Mega Mine, but it seems like it's not necessary. And let's just check the pops. Oh yeah, this is not even close, guys. 2,030,000. That's a lot of pops. So that was probably one of the easier 2-tower chimps I've done in a while, and I'm actually really surprised by this tower. So yeah, I didn't know how to feel about this tower. Was this rework a buff or a nerf? But I feel like it is a little bit better than it used to be in general. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. I mean, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this tower. Have you tried it out and what's happening? And yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I will see you on the next one.